Dear Taurus, what I'm about to share with you could be pivotal in navigating a situation that may be unfolding in your life, one that you might not fully grasp yet. There's a man, either someone who's already in your life or one who is about to enter it, who embodies a specific and potentially hazardous energy for you. This isn't about overt threats or physical danger. It's something far more insidious. It's a subtle force that can shatter the peace you cherish, erode your sense of security, and leave you questioning your very foundation, possibly for years to come. Have you ever experienced that unsettling sensation when you're around certain individuals, as if they're shaking your ground? You leave their presence feeling anxious, depleted, and uncertain of your own judgment. There exists a particular type of man who possesses this ability to an extraordinary degree, especially when he forms a connection with a Taurus. If you've stumbled upon this message, it's no mere coincidence. Your instinct is trying to alert you, and I'm here to help interpret the signs that you might be overlooking. The pressing question is, will you heed your instincts before it's too late, or will you learn this lesson the hard way? As a Taurus, you naturally tend to be patient and believe in stability. Your loyalty, reliability, and ability to build lasting things are some of your most admirable traits. However, these very qualities also make you vulnerable. When you encounter someone who knows how to exploit your steadfastness and loyalty, it can lead to significant emotional turmoil. The man I'm warning you about isn't necessarily malicious in the conventional sense. He may even believe his intentions are noble. Yet, there's a toxic dynamic at play in how he interacts with people like you. I'm going to equip you with the tools to identify this individual before he has the opportunity to inflict real harm on your life. You'll learn to recognize the signs, the phrases he might use, and the behaviors that masquerade as care, but are, in fact, designed to destabilize you. Most importantly, I will provide you with a strategy for handling this situation when it arises, because this isn't a question of if, it's a matter of when. The only uncertainty is whether you'll be ready or caught off guard. Are you prepared to safeguard your fortress of peace from someone who may be trying to tear it down? What makes this warning even more urgent is that individuals like this are often drawn to Taurians. Your stability, composure, and ability to create a world of comfort and security attract those who consciously or unconsciously seek to disrupt that peace. They feel confined by your sense of order, and rather than being inspired by it, they may try to create chaos in order to feel alive themselves. This pattern is common in the lives of many Taurians, and it's crucial to be aware of it. This man can manifest in various forms. He could be a colleague who initially appears to admire your methodical approach, a romantic interest who makes you feel secure, but gradually begins to introduce unnecessary drama, or even a family member or friend who has always had a complicated relationship with your need for peace. What they all share is a subtle knack for making you question your own practical judgment. For single Taurians, be particularly cautious of men who initially admire your stability, only to later subtly suggest that you are boring or too safe. For those in relationships, pay attention to any signs of deliberate financial or emotional instability being created, And in any scenario, be wary of friends or co-workers who frequently criticize your cautious nature under the guise of encouraging you to live a little. The reality is that there's a troubling trend of individuals who feel threatened by the quiet strength and stability of others. Taurians, with their grounding energy, often become prime targets because some individuals simply can't handle their own inner chaos in the presence of someone who embodies security and inner peace. The man I'm cautioning you about may not even realize the impact of his actions. He might genuinely think he's helping you break out of your shell when he suggests you should be less of a homebody or more spontaneous. When he questions your careful financial decisions or implies that you're too stubborn, he may even frame it as a call for you to be more flexible, as if living a planned and secure life is somehow a problem. Have you ever had someone tell you that you're too predictable or set in your ways, leaving you with a sinking feeling as if your very nature is flawed? Here's a revelation that could shift your perspective when someone claims you're too safe. The real issue lies with them, not you. Taurians are meant to be steady, reliable, and deliberate. When someone attempts to undermine these qualities, they're trying to drag you into their world of chaos instead of learning to appreciate the peace you create. This situation becomes particularly perilous for Taurians because of your immense patience and loyalty. When someone projects their instability onto you, you may find yourself trying to adapt to their chaos just to keep the peace and maintain the relationship. This is precisely what they want, consciously or unconsciously. It's a subtle form of emotional manipulation that can go unnoticed for extended periods. Over the next few days, pay close attention to how you feel after interacting with various people in your life. Notice if there's someone who, despite appearing polite and caring, consistently leaves you feeling more anxious, less secure, or more confused about your own decisions. This person may be disrupting your Taurian energy without you even realizing it. If this has persisted for a while, you might have started to internalize their criticisms, believing you genuinely are boring or too rigid. I need you to grasp a fundamental truth. You don't have to abandon your stability to fit into someone else's world. You don't have to create chaos to make someone else feel exciting. You shouldn't apologize for being cautious, steady, or practical. These are your gifts, not your flaws. Anyone who tries to convince you otherwise is attempting to shatter your foundation to feed their own insecurities. The man I'm warning you about may employ various tactics to destabilize you. He might make incessant jokes about your predictable lifestyle, often followed by, "I'm just kidding," when you express discomfort. He may frame his criticisms as concerned advice, subtly nudging you to doubt your choices. He could offer compliments that are immediately followed by critiques, employing a psychological tactic known as manipulation through conditioning. A common strategy is to instill guilt in you for seeking comfort and security. This person may always have a negative comment ready when something in your life is going smoothly and peacefully. They might minimize your achievements in building a stable life or find fault with moments that should be serene, making you feel selfish for taking pride in the peace you've created. If you recognize someone who consistently spoils your calm moments, you've identified your problem person. It's crucial to differentiate between someone who genuinely loves you and offers constructive feedback and someone who persistently tries to destabilize you. A true supporter celebrates your strengths and encourages your growth while respecting your nature. In contrast, someone who seeks to diminish you will always highlight your limitations, casting a shadow over your sense of security. The toxic individual I'm cautioning you about can be particularly deceptive because they often possess redeeming qualities. They may be intelligent, funny, or charismatic, and they might show real affection at times. This can make it challenging to recognize the pattern of destructive behavior. You might find yourself focusing on the positive interactions and overlooking the moments when you feel anxious, mistakenly believing that the issue lies with your inflexibility. For Taurus women, be especially vigilant with men who comment on the way you manage your life or finances in ways that seem helpful but are actually veiled criticisms. Phrases like, "You're so good at this," but, or "I love how secure you are. I just think you should raise immediate red flags. Anyone who truly loves you, accepts you as you are, and celebrates your unique qualities, rather than attempting to mold you to fit their preferences. For Taurus men, be wary of other men who subtly challenge your decisions, always trying to push you toward unnecessary risks or questioning your long-term plans. This encouragement, masquerading as advice, is a frequent tactic used to undermine your confidence and sense of security. The most effective way to deal with this type of person is to establish clear boundaries from the outset. Don't ignore their behavior or downplay your feelings. The first time someone makes a remark that makes you feel insecure, even if it's framed as a joke, make it clear that it's unacceptable to you. It may feel excessive, but setting boundaries early can prevent a damaging pattern from developing. If the person respects your boundaries and adjusts their behavior, that's a positive sign they genuinely care about your well-being. However, if they dismiss your concerns, label you as overly sensitive or stubborn, or continue their harmful behavior, that's a clear indication of their character. People who truly care about you respect your boundaries. They don't argue against them. Remember, protecting your peace is not selfish, it's essential. Taurians often give too much of their patience, trying to wait for others to change, tolerating problematic behavior because they believe in eventual stability. However, you cannot stabilize someone who doesn't wish to be stable, nor can you bring peace to someone who is comfortable in their chaos. Your responsibility is to safeguard your own sanctuary, not to build one for those who choose to live in turmoil. If someone specific has come to mind while reading this, trust your intuition. Your gut is alerting you to something you may have been ignoring or minimizing for too long. You don't need to create drama or make a scene, but begin to observe the patterns more closely. Pay attention to how you feel after engaging with this person and start setting small but firm boundaries. The key revelation I want to impart is that the man I'm warning you about could be anyone who tries to convince you that being your authentic Taurian self is a problem that needs fixing. He could be a romantic partner wanting to change you, a boss who belittles your methods, a friend who competes with you, or a family member who constantly criticizes you under the guise of care. What they all have in common is an inability to celebrate your natural stability without feeling threatened themselves. You were not born to live in a state of anxiety. You were not meant to apologize for seeking security. You were not created to abandon your peace to accommodate those who thrive in chaos. Taurians are here to demonstrate what is possible when one lives with steadfastness, purpose, and calm strength. Anyone who attempts to convince you otherwise is trying to rob you of not only your peace, but your life's mission. Over the next few days, I encourage you to engage in a simple exercise. After each meaningful interaction, take a moment to assess how your body, energy, and mood feel. If you leave feeling calm, grounded, and confident, that's a nourishing interaction. Conversely, if you feel anxious, confused, or questioning yourself, that's a sign of a destabilizing encounter. Start mapping out who in your life grounds you and who shakes you. You have every right to distance yourself from anyone who consistently makes you feel inadequate, regardless of your relationship with them. You have the right to establish boundaries regarding how you wish to be treated, to protect your energy, and to demand respect and admiration. The man I'm warning you about may appear in various forms: a mentor, partner, friend, or colleague. He will always share one common trait. He will attempt to convince you that you need to be less than your true self to be accepted and loved. That is the most dangerous lie you can believe. You deserve to be surrounded by people who love you exactly as you are and inspire you to build even stronger foundations. The most powerful protection against this type of individual is cultivating genuine self-love. When you truly recognize your worth, appreciate your unique qualities, and respect yourself, it becomes nearly impossible for anyone to sway your perception of yourself. Work on nurturing your relationship with yourself every day. Celebrate your Taurian traits. Take pride in your patience, your practicality, and your grand, stable dreams. The more you love yourself for who you are, the easier it will be to identify and distance yourself from those who fail to do the same. If this message resonates with you, know that it's not by chance. Your protective instincts are alerting you to something significant, and you're ready to absorb this insight. If you recognize a specific situation or individual, your experiences might help other Taurians identify similar patterns in their lives. Simply acknowledging that you see the signs can be incredibly validating for others facing similar challenges. Safeguarding your Taurian energy is an ongoing journey. You will need more tools and strategies to navigate the complexities of interactions with those who try to undermine you. Always remember, you don't need the approval of those who cannot see you for who you truly are. You don't need to abandon your stability to fit into someone else's limited world, and you certainly don't have to tolerate behaviors that make you question your worth. Be extremely cautious of any man who attempts to convince you that being magnificently Taurus is a problem. That is not love, nor is it caring advice. It's an attempt to shatter your foundation, and you are far too strong to allow that to happen. You are now warned, and to be warned is to be protected.